Started.
We started?
Yeah, we're started.
Oh,
I forgot to count. I just clicked. Sorry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Apocryphal Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Friday Apocryphal and podcast. And boy, do we have a show for you today. Today we are covering the Sibylline Oracles, Book 2, lines 1 through 195.
Close enough. What a weird intro, right?
Sorry. They probably got 1 second of whatever we were doing before.
Yeah, we were just talking about a local shooting.
Yeah.
Apparently didn't make the news.
No, it didn't.
Nothing makes the neuse anymore. Car crashes into CVS. Who cares? Not on the news.
Right. That happened. Yeah, that's right. I didn't show you the pictures, but there was while I was driving over here, I was over at the CVS. They're passing by it.
This local one?
Yeah, the local one. Someone drove through the windows.
Yeah, the windows closest to the other places, just like,
Yeah, they just drove right through.
Right into it, yeah.
I guess I'll have to check that out when I'm on my way home.
Yeah, you can check that out. I also have pictures. They probably cleaned it up already.
Oh.
Yeah. But either way, a lot of wild stuff going on. And with the shooting, I was like scouring the news for it. I was like waiting for I was always looking up like Milwaukee breaking news or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And just nothing on it. So I can only hopefully no one got hurt seriously. So that's the best I can hope for in that case. But yeah, we heard shots from two sides.
Wow.
There were at least 10 shots fired total.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of people running. There was this woman carrying this baby, and she was hysterical, right? And she was shouting, my baby. And so I don't know if her kid got shot or something, or if she was just worried about the kid that she had. I have no idea, but either way, I mean, the cops were called.
Apparently not newsworthy.
Yeah, apparently fucking not, right? This fucking world we live in, man.
We would rather publish articles about insensitive tweets.
Right, yeah. Holy shit. That was a little traumatic, not gonna lie. And also your dad.
Yeah, my dad. The Pew Research Center. Pew smells like bullshit to me.
Yeah.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to tell that story or not, because I thought it was pretty entertaining that he was acting like a child.
Yeah, so I sent my dad a screenshot of some research that showed that atheists know the Bible better than Christians do, which is to be expected, because once you get to know the Bible, you realize that it's full of shit. But yeah, his response to it was it's a lie. Let me tell you about the Pew Research Center. It stinks. P-E-E dash.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, different spellings of P-U.
Yeah. Very good argument there.
Yeah.
From your young earth creationist father.
Yes. He believes in biblical literalism. Yeah. And his church is not KJV only, but he likes the KJV the most.
Yeah. Because of the dragons, right?
Probably. I don't know.
Either way, we are continuing the Sibylline Oracles today.
Yeah, let's hear the future.
Man, I can't wait to hear the future. Kind of, according to the past. So this was probably written during the time of the Roman War.
But what book are you reading out of?
Oh, you know what? I am reading out of the Old Testament Pseudepigrapha, edited by James H. Charlesworth. This is Volume 1, Apocalyptic Literature and Testaments.
And this section is translated by J.J. Collins.
J.J. Collins. That's a name I can remember, because it's a big name in this field.
That it is.
Yeah. So this book will be filled with essentially Roman motifs, because this is something that Judeo-Christian tradition has always been really good with. They take surrounding motifs and reuse them or repurpose them for their own theology or their own eschatology.
Well, it's almost like syncretism was not something invented by neo-pagans.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the Jews were, or I should say maybe the Israelites were very...
The Hebrews.
Yeah, they were very good at being syncretic. I mean, it happened in Babylon and to some extent under Assyrian occupation.
Well, even prior to that, some parts of the law are edits of Hammurabi, right?
They're very similar to Hammurabi's code, yeah. So they're not something completely foreign to them. So either way, we will be expecting a lot of Roman ideas and imagery.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I don't really have much to introduce on this actual book, but that's mostly the thing to look out for there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then let me tell you about the Sibylline Oracles, Book 2, starting with the inspiration of the Sibyl.
Oh, finally.
Yes.
We really needed an origin story.
And you know what? Already, I'm going to read these first 5 lines, and then I'll get into it. Okay. When indeed God stopped my most perfectly wise song, as I prayed many things, he also again placed in my breast a delightful utterance of wondrous words. I will speak the following with my whole person in ecstasy, for I do not know what I say, but God bids me utter each thing. So the reference here in the footnote is to Plato's Meno, and I'm not sure what exactly they're referring to. Maybe they're referring to like the daemon of Socrates, or
to my understanding, that's basically just your consciousness, right?
Well, it's literally a demon.
Oh, okay.
Speaks to him. Well, it could be we're not sure.
Okay,
not sure. But it could also be a reference to the Oracle at Delphi that Socrates spoke to. I'm not sure if that's in Meno, though. I know that it's in a number of things. But moreover, with these first 5 lines, I want to point out that there's something very familiar about this kind of opening from Greek and Roman literature, specifically epic poetry.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Called the Muses.
Yeah, it literally, I mean, it's not an exact call to the Muses, but it is essentially a call to the Muses.
It's very, because it has the whole, because with the calls to the Muses, it's always like, the Muses bid me to sing this song.
Right. And here, God is taking that place, but it's like an invocation of God at the beginning, which operates in exactly the same way.
Yeah.
So very similar to that kind of literature. Okay, next section. Prophecy of disasters in the 10th generation. Now, we were talking about other generations before.
Now it's the 10th generation.
Yes. I believe we skipped 1 or 2. Yeah, we stopped at the 7th generation before the Christian edition.
So, the 7th generation was the one with Noah, right?
After Noah.
It was right after
when
Noah.
the Titans arise.
Right, okay.
Yes. But now we're at the 10th generation. But when on earth there are raging earthquakes and thunderbolts, thunders and lightnings, ... Presumably there's a missing section there.
Sure.
And mildew of the land, and frenzy of jackals and wolves, and slaughters, and destructions of men, and bellowing oxen, 4-footed cattle, and laboring mules, and goats and sheep, then much farmland will be left barren through neglect, and the fruits will fail.
Yeah, generally this looks like basic destruction of farmland and livestock, and because those are things you would all expect to see on a farm or growing on a farm.
Yeah. So
or a vineyard, I guess.
Yeah. There is, I'm trying to find where the footnote is for this because we're approaching. Okay. We're about to get there. So Selling of free men into slavery will be practiced among very many people, and robbing of temples. Then, indeed, the 10th generation of men will also appear after these things.
Yeah, I mean, slavery has been around for a long-ass time. Mm-hmm. They did have it in Rome and Greece, so it's not like a novel thing for them. And then they would very often take existing temples and repurpose them for a different god.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the abomination of desolation.
The abomination of desolation. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So at this point, the original.
Do we have that as a card?
I should absolutely add that.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At this point, the original numerical sequence of the Jewish oracles resumed. In the commentary on Virgil's Eclogue 4:4, Servius, circa AD 400, states that the Cumaean Sibyl divided history into 10 generations. In addition to the Jewish and Christian passages listed in the margin, which there's a bunch of them.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. The idea is also found in the Persian Zand-i Vohuman Yasin, the Baman Yasut.
Okay.
And the rabbinic PRE 11. Targum to Esther's beginning, and the second Targum to Esther's beginning. Note also the flood took place in the 10th generation from Adam. So the 10th generation is relevant, but this is already after the flood, so this can't be that same generation. This is a different idea of what generation means.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, people are being sold into slavery. The 10th generation of men will also appear after these things, when the earth-shaking lightning giver will break the glory of idols and shake the people of seven-hilled Rome. So, lightning giver. The earth shaker was a traditional epithet of Poseidon.
Yeah.
Lightning giver of Zeus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for this seven-hilled Rome, apparently the oracle of Hystaspes in Lactantius also refers to Rome this way.
As a seven-hilled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. Great wealth will perish, burned in a great fire by the flame of Hephaestus, Greek god of fire.
Yeah, and Hephaestus was like the guy who forged like a whole bunch of weapons, especially for Achilles too. He made his shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
there was like the end of like one of those books was basically just a song to that shield. Like it was just describing it in the most detail possible. Like that's how detailed this shield was. It had like scenes of past and present and future, and it was just nuts. Apparently,
it seems like a pretty cool shield.
That would be a very cool shield. Yeah.
In fact, given that there's so much detail about it,
we could make one.
Yes.
Cool.
Of course, we would have to have the blessing of Hephaestus.
Or a forge in metal. Jeez.
I mean, you could just take bricks and set it up in the backyard.
Nope, blessing of Hephaestus.
Not
That's
the
the only thing we
backyard.
need.
My backyard's too small.
It's not too small for a small forge.
Jeez.
Maybe for a forge big enough to make like a tower shield, it would be.
Yeah, definitely too small for that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind you need for this kind of detail.
Yeah. Then there will be bloody precipitation from heaven, but the entire world of innumerable men will kill each other in madness.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's going to rain blood.
That's badass. I love it.
Yeah. The remake of Evil Dead had a scene at the end where it's raining blood, and it was pretty cool. It's just like raining blood for 20 minutes while this lady's trying to kill this.
There's already a magic card called Rain of Blood.
Yeah. And a Slayer song.
Yeah, the Slayer song. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Slayer!
It's a really good card. It says it's an enchantment.
Oh, God.
For red and a black. Says if anyone would gain life, they instead lose that much. That's just so strong for two.
That is strong, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
So it's raining blood. In the tumult, God will impose famines and pestilence and thunderbolts on men who educate without justice. And this pestilence is a proverbial cliche since Hesiod's working days. It's especially common in oracular literature, but also in the Bible. Like
That's true, yeah.
famines and pestilence. Yeah. There will be a scarcity of men throughout the whole world, so that if one were to see a man's footprint on the ground, one would wonder. So,
wonder if they're dead or alive?
It's not clear. I suppose
They'd
would
just be like, wow, I wonder where that guy came
is
from
now?
because I can't believe I found a footprint.
Where is 4th Ezra? 4th Ezra is in this one. Apparently, there's a reference to this in 4th Ezra.
Oh, okay.
1627. And we've read 4th Ezra, right?
Have we?
Yeah, because
I remember for
it's weirdly numbered.
Yeah, it is weirdly numbered. Because like they were like part of
Esdras.
Yeah. So they are weirdly numbered.
Yeah, we read that.
Then further, the great God who lives in the sky will be a savior of pious men in all respects. Then also there will be deep peace and understanding, and the fruitful earth will again bear more numerous fruits, being neither divided nor in servitude any longer. Every harbor, every port will be free for men, as it was before, and shamelessness will perish. And then again, God will perform a great sign. For a star will shine like a resplendent crown, resplendent gleaming from the radiant heaven for no small number of days. For then he will show from heaven a crown to men who strive in contest. So such astral phenomena are frequently understood as signs of great changes and upheavals in the Hellenistic age. The astrological writings of Nekhepso and Petosiris from Egypt in the 2nd century BC consist of the interpretation of such signs. See for reference the star and comet which appear before the fall of Jerusalem in Josephus's War 653.
I can look that up.
Or the first star for whatever for the guys who got guided.
You said 653?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty close to it here. 653. Thus were the miserable people persuaded by these deceivers, and such as bellied God himself, while they did not attend nor give credit to the signs that were so evident, and did so plainly foretell their future desolation. But like men infatuated, without either eyes to see or minds to consider, did not regard the denunciations that God made to them. Thus there was a star resembling a sword, which stood over the city, and a comet that continued a whole year. Thus also, before the Jews' rebellion and before these commotions which preceded the war, when the people were come in great crowds
That's gotta
to
be
the
a card
feast.
now.
What?
Oh, Justin.
Yeah, the star sword.
Star sword.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, I got to do that for sure now.
Fair enough. We're coming great crowds to the feast of unleavened bread on the 8th day of the month Xanthicus, that's Nisan, and at the 9th hour of the night, so great a light shone round the altar and holy house, that it appeared to be bright daytime, which light lasted for half an hour. This light seemed to be a good sign to the unskillful, but was so interpreted by the sacred scribes as to portend those events that followed immediately upon it. And then there are more signs, actually. But these are not celestial.
Right.
Yeah.
So, honestly, if there were a comet that I saw for a whole year straight, that would be pretty intense.
That would be pretty cool, yeah.
There were times in history that happened.
Yeah, well, Josephus says so.
Yeah, there's a time in history where we had a second moon, too.
For how long though?
And it
Not
was
very
called
long.
Nibiru.
No, it wasn't.
Or Planet X.
It wasn't for very long. It was for like, I want to say
day.
like a month or something.
A month is pretty
Maybe
long.
it was a month.
That's still pretty intense, and I understand a supernova happened or something, right?
But no, it was just like what are they called? Like just like the stray it was just like a stray asteroid or something that got caught in our
it
orbit
was
for a
just
little
really
bit.
bright.
No, it wasn't bright. It wasn't a comet. It was just an asteroid that had gotten
just a rock.
Yeah, it was just a rock that got caught in our orbit, so we had a second moon for a little bit.
Still visible because it had to be bright enough to be seen. Reflection.
Well, I mean, it wasn't so bright that like that
People were blinded looking at the sky.
they definitely weren't blinded.
That's not what I meant.
But like scientists caught it. We didn't even give it like a proper name. It still has like one of those names that are just letters and numbers.
I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it Moon Junior.
Wow.
That's its name.
Scientists aren't good at naming things anyway.
They're not. No.
No. My name is much better.
Clearly.
Okay, next section, the Heavenly Contest. Then again, reading Kai tote men megas autis Agon for Kai tot mai megas gar Agon.
Man, that'd be so much easier if it was an actual Greek.
I'm sure. You're going to have to get
so
used to it.
megas would be like great, obviously, or large.
And men.
Well, let me see the thing. Okay. And at that time, certainly, at that time, certainly, a great thing or great things. So agon is the verb there. That means carry. Ago, carry or lead. So it would be great things are carrying or leading with it. Great things are being carried with it. There you go. There's a translation on the spot. Greek translation.
Well, let's see if you were right. As this translation says, then again, there will be a great contest for entry to the heavenly city.
Okay, I don't know about that.
The agon, or contest motif, is derived from Stoicism.
Okay, maybe then I'm reading it wrong. Because this is why it'd be easier if it was in Greek. Because if it was in Greek, I would be able to tell if it was a verb or a noun.
Maybe there's a reason for this linguistic similarity. Maybe there was like a contest for carrying things that was very important to their culture.
Well, maybe it could also mean lead, right? I think those were two different definitions of ago. I mean, I can check the actual lexicon here. So if I just go agon, let's see, agonos. No, that's something else. Okay, so I'm not sure. It would be way easier if I knew how it was actually spelled.
Yeah. It will be universal for all men holding the glory of immortality.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. So, it's agon. This is why the actual Greek would be useful, because then I would know if it was... I'd know what it was based on the... what's it called? On the accent mark. Mm-hmm. I would know what it was based on that. So, agon is a place of contest or an arena. A number of people brought together, or an assembly of the Greeks at their great national games, or more generally, any struggle or trial.
All right.
Yeah, this is why the actual Greek would be so much easier, because that one accent mark will tell you if it's a
verb or a noun.
A verb or a noun or a participle. Like, it'll tell you.
Then, every people will strive for the immortal prizes of most noble victory, For no one there can shamelessly buy a crown for silver. For holy Christ will make just awards to these and crown the worthy. But to martyrs he will give an immortal treasure, to those who pursue the contest even to death. He will give an imperishable prize from the treasure to virgins who run well, and to all men who perform justice, and to diverse nations who live piously and acknowledge one God, who love marriage and refrain from adultery. He will give rich gifts and eternal hope to these also. For every soul of mortals is a gracious gift of God, and it is not lawful for men to defile it with any grievous things.
Damn. Feel like we might have.
You certainly have.
Yeah.
You defiler.
That's me.
Yep. Now we have an extract from Pseudo-Phocilides.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. This translation offered here is an independent rendering of Gefkin's text. Things are only added where the sentences diverge. Okay. So the first 4 verses of Young's edition are omitted in Sibylline Oracle 2, but they're added in here in parentheses.
Ah, okay.
On justice. Do not gain wealth unjustly, but live from legitimate things. Be satisfied with what is available, and refrain from what belongs to others. Do not tell lies, but preserve all truths. Do not
Reuben. Stop being such a liar.
Ha ha ha. I'm lying about what's in the text right now.
Oh my God.
Ooh. Do not revere idols to no good purpose, but always the imperishable one. First, honor God, then your parents. Dispense all things justly, and do not come to an unjust judgment. Do not unjustly cast down poverty. Do not be partial in judgment. If you judge badly, God will judge you later. Avoid false witness. Adjudicate justly. Guard that which is deposited with you. Preserve love in all things. Give just measures, but an overmeasure to all is good. Do not cheat in measuring, but weigh evenly. Do not commit perjury, either in ignorance or willingly. God detests a perjurer, whatever one swears. Never accept in your hand a gift which derives from unjust deeds. Do not steal seeds. Whoever takes for himself is accursed to generations of generations, to the scattering of life. Do not practice homosexuality.
There
Do
we go.
not betray information. Do not murder. Give one who has labored his wage.
See, I'm wondering on what Greek word is actually used there, because so when it comes to the Hebrew text, for example,
Well, there was, of course, pederasty in Greece.
pederasty.
Yeah. Pedophilic acts with young boys.
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a word.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, never heard of that. So
It was
okay.
also common in knights among their squires. And
Sure.
in samurai with their trainees.
I didn't know that about the samurai. Mostly I just didn't know that was the word for it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the word that's used there, I know that the one that's at least used in the New Testament, that's often translated that way. We don't actually know what it means because it doesn't appear anywhere else. Although it's very obvious that homosexuality was a later interpretation there, or at least it's our understanding of it. And then the one in the Old Testament, it has been argued that it probably wouldn't have originally been about homosexual relationships. It would have been about a specific male-on-male incestual relationship.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do want to note that this is one of the verses that is not in Sibylline Oracles 2. This is from Pseudo-Phocylides,
Right, okay.
which is not included in the Sibylline Oracles, Book 2, but which is added in here to complete the Pseudo-Phocylides section. So probably it's the case that this was removed intentionally. Actually, a bunch of lines don't appear in here. This is just one of them. Give one who has labored his wage. Do not oppress a poor man. Take heed of your speech. Keep a secret matter in your heart. Make provision for orphans and widows and those in need. That's another line that's left out of Sibylline Oracles. Do not be willing to act unjustly, and therefore do not give leave to one who is acting unjustly. Now, we have a section on mercy.
So is this not part of pseudo? I forget the name that was used, but is this still
This
part
is
of that?
still part of it, and
Okay.
actually it continues on until verse 150.
Oh, okay.
Or line 150. So I'm going to hand it off to you at
All right.
this point on mercy.
On mercy. Here we go. Let's learn about mercy, guys.
No.
No?
Nah, it's okay. Go.
No, we're going to do it, yeah. Give to the poor at once, and do not tell them to come tomorrow. With a perspiring hand, give a portion of corn to one who is in need. Whoever gives alms knows that he is lending to God. That's a very common thing in Jewish practice. They very much emphasize giving to the poor.
Tzedakah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mercy saves from death when judgment comes. God wants not to sacrifice. He wants not sacrifice, but mercy instead of sacrifice. Now, I forget where it was. It doesn't look like it's listed here, where he just denounces sacrifices in general, where he says that those aren't the important things. I forget which book that was in.
It was in a couple of books, I think.
Because the reference here is to Hosea, apparently. So that may have been in Hosea 6:6.
Hosea 6:6.
Yeah. Therefore, clothe the naked. Give the hungry a share of your bread. Receive the homeless into your house and lead the blind. Pity the shipwrecked, for the voyage is uncertain. Give a hand to one who has fallen. Save a solitary man. So they're just giving, general be nice to people advice, especially ones that are destitute.
Hosea 6:6. For I desired mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. All have a common lot, the wheel of life, unstable prosperity. If you have wealth, stretch out your hand to the poor. The things which God gave you, give of them to one in need. Every life of men is common, but falls out unequally. When you see a poor man, never mock him with words, and do not verbally abuse a person who is at fault. Life is assessed in death. Whether one acted lawlessly or righteously will be distinguished when one comes to judgment. Now, see, a lot of things in here, actually, in this section on mercy specifically, generally, I agree with it for the most part.
Keeping in mind that this is from a different author.
Right, yeah. So no, don't fucking harass homeless people.
Yeah, it's almost like, they wrote down things that were basically common sense.
Yeah, this would be common sense
but
here.
not so common.
Right, uncommon enough to where they
You
felt
would have to write it down.
Yeah. But of course they're saving all that stuff for the end of life too.
Now, compare this to Proverbs, where the commandments are don't wait in a dark alleyway to murder people.
Yeah.
It's a little more down to earth.
Man, people, the past was horrible.
The whole path.
Pretty much the whole past.
Starting from 1 second ago.
Dude, last second was atrocious.
Yeah.
More atrocious than the other last seconds.
Our show just keeps getting better, which means that every show prior to the one that we just did or are currently doing is just terrible.
You know what? Yes, the past is horrible. I agree. That's why you should always watch the current shows, because those are the best ones.
And because that'll help us most with the algorithm.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've gotten better, and our equipment got better. And if you look back at it, I'm in this show, and I don't like being in this show. Go watch things after episode 36, please.
Yeah.
Really watch things after like episode 120.
Yeah.
The new mics really make it way better.
Yeah.
Like
and
just
having commentaries.
that too. Yeah. But I really think the mics probably did put it over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I think having commentaries put it over the edge.
I mean, both are
everything
good.
helped.
Yeah, it's all good. But I think people like if something has bad audio, they just won't listen to it.
Yeah, right.
They'll just turn it off.
Speaking of our older shows, 100-point show.
Oh my God.
100-point
Why do
show
you do
question is what was my previous 100-point show question?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Was it who was champion at WrestleMania 1?
I think that was the one prior to that.
Okay. Well, anyways, here's my 100-point show question. What is the 10th step to the 12-step program?
Is that the one where you like seek forgiveness from people that you've wronged? That's one of them, right?
That is one of them, yeah.
But
No, step 10 is continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admit it.
Oh.
So close enough.
I guess.
Yeah. There
take
was the one where you
points.
Yeah, that's the one because they do have one directly where you ask for forgiveness. But yeah, there's so much God shit in here, man. And they try their best to make it like not super religious, even though it's obviously super religious.
So I'm not entirely sure if this is true or not, but someone who went through some 12-step programs told me that the guys who wrote this literally wrote this like the 12 steps in like an afternoon.
I believe it.
Yeah. And there's no research that went into it. It was just like, well, what kind of helped me get sober? I guess these things.
Yeah. It's essentially where it's at, because the quotes that they have for it were things that they did. So like what was the seventh thing you did? The answer would be humbly asked him, God, to remove our shortcomings. So like these are things that the authors would have done. And step 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God. Big underlines here. As we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. How on earth are people getting away with doing this? This is like so blatantly religious.
Yeah. Well, that most meetings take place in church basements.
Yeah.
So.
Fucking like ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
That's not the only anonymous group.
Yeah.
There's like NA, there's CA, there's so many of them. And they're all these 12-step things. And you know what? Apparently it works, and you should believe in God.
Wow. This is a ridiculous thing. Like you are not like in control or something.
Yeah. No.
It's like,
you
ultimately
are powerless
Yeah.
in the face of this overwhelming thing.
It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
We just got to bring that power back to you.
Yeah.
Anyways, continuing on here on moderation. Speaking of,
Yeah. Remember to
moderation.
drink responsibly.
Do not damage your mind with wine or drink to excess.
Okay.
That was very
you know
perfectly
what?
timed.
Wonderful.
So timely.
We're oracles.
Maybe we are.
Yeah.
Do not eat blood. Abstain from what is sacrificed to idols. Gird on the sword, not for killing, but for defense. May you not use it either lawlessly or righteously. For even if you kill an enemy, you defile your own hand. Keep off a neighboring field. Do not trespass. Every boundary is just, but trespass is grievous.
You know, that reminds me, I think...
Open borders.
The Aikido guy. He wrote...
Aikido, was that the... that's the martial art, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget the guy's name. He goes by O Sensei. That's like big teacher, right? But he wrote this book called the Art of Peace, right? And one of the things he says in it is
in opposition to the art of war.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. One of the things he says in there is like, to injure one's opponent is to injure oneself. Right. That's very
very close to that.
Very close.
The acquisition of legitimate things is profitable, but that of unjust things is bad.
Oh, yes.
Really? I didn't know.
Do not damage any fruit of the soil when it is growing. Let strangers have equal honor among citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're gay, right?
Oh, well,
Something.
that was removed, remember?
Oh, right.
It's not part of Second Oracle.
For all will experience exile of many hardships, as guests of each other, but no one will be a stranger among you, since you are all mortals of one blood, and a country has no secure place for men. Oh, and you know what? That would be, that of course would be on their minds, because with the, remember back when they were determining where the tribes were each going to settle, there was one area that was specifically for refugees, where the refugees would flee if people were trying to kill them and whatnot.
Sanctuary cities.
Yeah, sanctuary city. Thank you. So yeah, that would make sense that this would be on their mind, and the country has no secure place for men.
Yeah. And of course they're gonna bring up the exile, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's gonna be on their mind during the Roman thing.
Yep.
But moreover, this is very different than Ezra, Nehemiah, right?
It is.
They're very universalist here. They're like, you're all men of one blood, and like don't quarrel with anyone. Whereas,
treat people equally and fairly.
Yeah, treat foreigners as equals, right? Whereas Ezra and Nehemiah are like, throw out your half-breed children and your foreign wives.
Yeah. We thank them for everything they did for us, but no, we are not. Don't mate with them. They're bad.
Ridiculous books.
Yeah, those went a lot harder than I initially anticipated.
Yeah.
All right, next section here on money. Yeah.
The root of all evil.
Yes. Neither wish to be wealthy nor pray for it, but pray for this: to live on a little, having nothing unjust. The love of money is mother of all evil.
I am an oracle.
Oracle here.
It's official. This show is the most five-headed show. We have been discussing things before they pop up in the text. We are just
hyper credible.
Hyper credible. There you go. There must be, some vent here with fumes that were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the hookah. The hookah's back.
It's the hookah. Yeah.
Speaking of being hyper credible, I was considering buying the New Testament commentaries of Helena P. Blavatsky, but they're like $70.
Yeah,
and like a short little packet.
It doesn't seem worth it.
Not worth it.
I feel like they would be very entertaining.
Oh yeah, we could have a Blavatsky minute, maybe once every few episodes.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, she was wild, nuts. Actually, she was fucking nuts.
Well, that's just because you don't appreciate
Right.
the mystical contents. Because, the more
Vague, the more hidden something is, the more
obscure and hard to understand the passages.
Yeah, according to
The more
Blavatsky.
valuable the mystical content.
Yeah, she's ridiculous. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for
Subscribing.
abandoning God.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot it was abandoning God. But thank you for the subscription.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on here. More about money, which we were just told is the root of all evil.
You should give it to poor people.
Yeah, to
make them
so they
evil.
can be evil. But no, that's why they have like the love of money. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, have no desire for gold or silver.
Only for God.
Also in these, there will be double-edged iron, which destroys the spirit.
Ooh.
Gold and silver are always a deception of men. Life-destroying gold, originator of evils, crushing all things. Would that you were not a desired affliction for men. For because of you are battles, plunderings, murders, children hostile to their parents, and brothers to their kindred. So, yeah, I guess this love of gold is the thing that, separates everybody,
Yeah.
according to this author, which is, not too far off. Next section on honesty and moderation, even though we just had something on moderation, but okay.
Honestly?
Maybe this is moderation of honesty.
Well, see, that section was on moderation from alcoholic beverages, essentially.
Right, yeah.
This section is going to be on doing it for free.
Well, the thing is, it was on beverages, and it was also on killing, right? Because they're like, you shouldn't really want to kill. Like, sometimes you just kind of have to. You shouldn't wish for it, but you still defile your own hand. And then on treating people equally. Yeah. Either way, do not weave plots and do not arm your heart against a friend. Do not hide one thought in your heart while you say another. Do not change in your place like a many-footed creature which clings to rocks.
Lizard.
Many-footed. It'd probably be like
A spider.
a spider, yeah. Yeah. Do not change in your place. Something that camouflages. I don't know. So probably not a spider, but some other kind of insect. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
I have no idea. Either way, be straightforward with all. Speak what comes from your soul. Whoever deliberately does injustice is an evil man. As for one who acts under compulsion, I will not pronounce his end, but let the counsel of each man be straight.
See, they were just doing their jobs.
Yeah, they're just doing their jobs.
Can't judge them for doing their jobs.
You can though. To a certain point, you can.
Yeah. You're getting a call.
Yeah, I'm getting a call. Fuck that. Do not boast of wisdom or strength or wealth.
Could have been your doctor.
It might have been. Very well might have been. But I'll call back later.
Your doctor is going to be like, Lawrence, you
dead.
need to get to the hospital in 30 minutes or your heart's going to explode.
Speaking of which, the heart monitor is off.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
what did they find?
They found nothing because I still have to actually send it back after, because I just took it off this morning. Is the thing.
Yeah.
So I have to actually take all this stuff and send it back to them.
Yeah.
And then they should know in like a week, but which I feel like is a little long.
It is.
But
One would think that you could just
Pull
run
it
the
up.
data through a program and have like in a couple of minutes, maybe a full analysis ready that would just be like, hey, this is all relatively normal except for this point.
yeah, exactly. Like you would think, or at least you like be able to see it, right?
Medical equipment has gotten a lot more advanced, but the infrastructure behind the medical industry is not. So, like, for example, all the stuff, like your records and everything, people are still faxing paper copies.
Are they really still faxing?
Yes. That is still happening.
Oh my God.
It's absurd.
That is absurd.
Yeah.
Because like the world has moved on past fax machines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what good is that?
There have been many instances where I've had to like contact a hospital for a primary care for one of my clients, and like I literally have to fax materials over and then get materials faxed to me, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Can I just get an email?
Yeah, just email it to me. It's easier to put into our digital system.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, I have to literally scan this material one page at a time and then put that in our digital system. Just send me a digital copy.
Yeah.
We don't need physical copies. And it's not just like the hospitals that are doing it, but like the licensing boards and everything. They want physical, like handwritten copies of forms. Like, They don't want you to just fill out a digital thing in order to go through the entire process. No, they want you to literally print it off and like fax or mail it in so that someone can go by hand and like go through every single sheet of paper individually.
That's ridiculous.
Nonsense.
Like the thing is, like I would understand like if you had no like way to back up any of that data, right? Mm-hmm. But we have ways to back up that data.
Yeah, we do.
We have data recovery methods, so I don't know.
Speaking of data recovery, proceed.
Yes. So do not boast of wisdom or strength or wealth. There is one God, at once wise, powerful, and rich. Do not wear out your heart with passing evils.
I like how they added that God's rich.
Yeah, right, that he's rich. That was... Like, you just told people not to boast about those things, but I guess it's okay because you're boasting about God's wealth on behalf of him.
It's got a lot of money, so...
Yeah, I mean, have you seen those mega churches?
Yeah.
He's fucking loaded.
Oh, my gosh.
Do not wear out your heart with passing evils, for that which has happened can no longer be undone. Be not precipitous to the hand. Bridle wild anger, for often one who struck a blow unintentionally committed murder. Let your passions be normal, neither great nor excessive. Abundant profit is not a good thing for mortals. Much luxury draws toward inordinate desires. Great wealth is proud and it fosters arrogance. Ire, when it takes the initiative, fashions a destructive frenzy. Anger is a propensity, but wrath goes to excess. The zeal of the good is noble, but that of the bad is bad. Wow. Wisdom literature.
Look,
everybody.
A is A.
Holy shit.
Am I blowing your mind here?
You are blowing my mind.
You know, I can say that a different way. If A, then A.
Wow.
A and A.
Oh.
A, if and only if A.
Whoa, getting fancy.
Yeah.
The daring of the wicked is destructive, but that of the good brings glory. Love of virtue is revered, but that of Aphrodite augments disgrace.
Because Aphrodite is like a fertility goddess. And so not only is it a jab at idolatry, but also promiscuity.
Yeah. That's why it has to be love of virtue. Can't love other people. That'd be ridiculous. A man who is too simple is called a fool among the citizens. Eat, drink, and discourse in moderation. Of all things, moderation is best, but excess is grievous. Be not envious or faithless or a slanderer or of an evil mind or an inordinate deceiver. Practice temperance. Refrain from base deeds. Do not imitate evil, but leave vengeance to justice. For persuasion is a profit, but strife engenders strife in turn. Do not trust quickly before you see the end with certainty. And these are apparently the end of the passages from pseudo facilities.
Yeah. So it seems very much in line with Stoicism in many sections there. But hey, if you're enjoying the stream show,
Wow, you're trying.
If you're enjoying the stream so far, give us a like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, neighbors, and remember, stay temperate. Anyways,
Stay temperate.
let me get this.
It's really it's a mild slogan. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he was trying to be one of those hip people in those
Imagine if like
dare videos.
Imagine like if in pop culture, instead of oh man, she's so hot, it's like, oh man, she's so temperate.
People used to be like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, yeah, do you remember the Temperance movement? It was the group of women before Prohibition that basically rallied for Prohibition.
Because
their husbands kept beating them.
Yeah, well, back before Prohibition, like the concept of not drinking at work wasn't a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so people were just like wasted all the time.
Yeah.
Somehow they weren't all morbidly obese because alcohol is very calorie dense.
Might have something to do with
they had to labor harder.
Yeah, labor harder. Food wasn't like
Yeah,
as easily accessible, I guess.
because you'd much rather have whiskey than bread.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Anyways, this is about the conclusion of the contest. This is the contest. These are the prizes. These the awards. This is the gate of life and entry to immortality, which the heavenly God appointed as reward of victory for most righteous men. But they, when they receive the crown, will pass through this in glory. Now we're getting into signs of the end.
I love the signs of the end.
But whenever this sign appears throughout the world, children born with gray temples from birth.
Gray temples, like gray temples.
Yeah, the oldest attestation of this sign is in Hesiod, Works and Days.
Wait,
it's
really?
also found in Stoic writings and in the Christian Testamentum Domini.
I don't remember that in Works and Days.
Apparently, it's in Works and Days 181. But gray temples from birth.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I gotta go look this up because I don't remember that.
Look it up. Works and Days 181. Yes, great temples from birth, afflictions of men, famines, pestilence, and wars, change of times, lamentations, many tears. Alas, how many people's children in the countries will feed on their parents with piteous lamentations. They will place their flesh in cloaks and bury them in the ground, mother of peoples, defiled with blood and dust. Oh, very wretched, dread evildoers of the last generation, infantile, who do not understand that when the species of females does not give birth, the harvest of articulate men has come. Yeah, you find it?
For some reason the PDF wasn't. Oh, there it is. Now it's showing up. Okay, it just took a while.
Works and Days 181.
Okay.
Some references to that curse in the Torah here, with children feeding on their parents.
Oh yeah, I love that one. The one in Deuteronomy 28.
I think it's 28. Yeah.
Wait, was that children feeding on their
I
parents?
think it's the other way around.
Yeah, it was the other way around.
But the idea is the same.
Yeah.
Family members eating family members.
Yeah.
You find that 181?
I am really trying here.
You can do it. The gathering together is near when some deceivers in place of prophets approach, speaking on earth. Beliar will also come.
Yeah, so Beliar was another name. See, this is where we start with, we were talking about it before the show, Nero Redivivus. So that was the idea that Nero wasn't actually dead, that he was like hiding out with the Persians, and he was coming back, after, for the end times.
Yeah.
So Beliar was another name for Satan, essentially.
Yeah, Beliar or Belial occurs more than 30 times as the demonic adversary in the Qumran scrolls.
Yeah, there you go.
So Beliar will also come and will do many signs for men. Then, indeed, there will be confusion of holy, chosen, and faithful men, and there will be a plundering of these and of the Hebrews. A terrible wrath will come upon them when a people of 10 tribes will come from the east to seek the people, which the shoot of Assyria destroyed, of their fellow Hebrews. Nations will perish after these things. And this is referenced in 4th Ezra 13:40 and the Assumption of Moses 4:9. And Antiquities of the Jews 11:5-2.
Okay. I mean, I can pull up Antiquities of the Jews, but also, yeah, so I have this pulled up here, but it doesn't say anything about gray temples.
Let me see.
So it should be on this page somewhere, but I can't see anything about gray temples. So anyways, for the section in Antiquities of the Jews,
11:5-2.
11:5-2. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'm already pretty close to it. Yeah, 11:5. Yeah, when Esdras had received this epistle, he was very joyful and began to worship God and confessed that he had been the cause of the king's great favor to him, and that for the same reason he gave all the thanks to God. So he read the epistle at Babylon to the Jews that were there, but he kept the epistle itself.
Wait. Yet Zeus will destroy this race of men also when at birth they turn out gray at the temples.
Oh, shit. Okay, I guess I just missed that completely.
That's in there.
Damn, okay. Anyways, yeah, so I will continue reading this.
Yes.
Yeah, so he read the epistle at Babylon to the Jews that were there, but he kept the epistle itself and sent a copy of it to all those of his own nation that were in Media. And when these Jews had understood what piety the king had towards God and what kindness he had for Esdras, they were all greatly pleased. Nay, many of them took their effects with him and came to Babylon as very desirous of going down to Jerusalem. But then the entire body of the people of Israel remained in that country. Wherefore, there are but 2 tribes in Asia and Europe subject to the Romans, while the 10 tribes are beyond Euphrates till now, and are in immense multitude and not to be estimated by numbers. Now there came a great number of priests and Levites and porters and sacred singers and sacred servants to Esdras. So he gathered those that were in the captivity together beyond Euphrates and stayed there 3 days, and ordained a fast for them, that they might make their prayers to God for their preservation, that they might suffer no misfortunes by the way, either from their enemies or from any other ill incident. For Esdras had said beforehand that he had told the king how God would preserve them, and so he had not thought it fit to request that he would send horsemen to conduct them.
Okay. So yeah, 10 tribes that exist in the east.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're in another section, eschatological rule of the Hebrews.
I love eschatological rule of the Hebrews.
Yeah. Later, the faithful chosen Hebrews will rule over exceedingly mighty men, having subjected them as of old, since power will never fail. The Most High, who oversees all living in the sky, will spread sleep over men, having closed their eyes. O blessed servants, as many as the master, when he comes, finds awake, for they have all stayed awake all the time, looking expectantly with sleepless eyes. For he will come at dawn, or evening, or midday. He will certainly come, and it will be as I say. It will come to pass for future generations when the starry heaven, when from the starry heaven, all the stars appear in midday to all with the two luminaries as time presses on.
That's that would be
Intense.
incredibly bright.
Yes.
And yeah, that would be intense if we saw the sun and all the other stars and the moon all in one spot.
Yes.
That would be
Big Bang level.
yeah, it would be kind of nuts. It would be actually no, I wouldn't say that. It's like supernova level. It would be like if all of them went supernova because
Wow, so you're saying that the Sibylline Oracles accurately predict that when the sun goes supernova, the world will end?
Ah!
I didn't say that at all.
Wow.
That'd be cool if they said that. It would be.
If all the other stars go supernova,
Now,
also the world
pull out Josephus again.
okay, the world wouldn't even end there. It would be a cause for concern if every star in the galaxy went supernova except for the sun.
War 653.
Okay. So I would be, fucking terrified because of some cosmic shit.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Yeah, obviously.
Very bad.
But it just wouldn't be like an immediate thing.
All of those things would have to happen so far apart because the light would travel at different speeds and show up here.
That's true.
It would just be very coincidental.
Yeah. Still horrifying. Because if there is a supernova, you would see it during the day. So 653, thus were the miserable people persuaded by these deceivers, and such as bellied God himself, while they did not attend nor give credit to the signs that were so evident, and did so plainly foretell their future desolation, but like men infatuated. Oh, wait, didn't we just read this?
Yeah, we did just read this.
Yeah, we read this already.
Yeah, apparently this is another reference to the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, we already read this.
Yeah.
At least most of it.
Now the coming of Elijah and other signs. Then the Thespite, Elijah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See for reference, Commodian Carmen Apologeticum 833, Lactantius' divine instructions.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah, so this is just a name for Elijah, the Thespite.
Okay.
Driving a heavenly chariot at full stretch from heaven, will come on earth and then display 3 signs to the whole world as life perishes.
Ah, so he's coming back on his heavenly chariot, the one that he went up in.
Yes, 3 signs. DID 16:6.
And the DID?
DID 16:6.
Oh, okay. Maybe Didac.
Maybe. And then shall appear the signs of truth. First, the signs spread out in heaven, then the sign of the sound of the trumpet, and thirdly, the resurrection of the dead. Those are the 3 signs.
Okay.
Alas, for as many as are found bearing in the womb on that day, for as many as suckle infant children, for as many as dwell upon the wave, alas, for as many as will see that day. For a dark mist will cover the boundless world, east and west and south and north. That is
the end of the reading for the day.
End of the reading for the day.
Yeah,
so some interesting stuff here. Some eschatology, some Roman stuff, some vaguely proverbial language and all sorts of things coming in. A reference to Belial.
Yeah. So it was a whole slew of different types of writing. But I guess mostly the stuff that was more proverb-like, more wisdom literature was the extract from pseudo
Phocylides.
Or Phocylides, that's fine. So Yeah, that's really the all the wisdom stuff packed into that section. So treat people nicely, and don't be gay. That's one thing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else there is. Give to the poor. Don't lie. Being good is good. Being bad is bad.
That was stated multiple times.
Yeah. Don't brag about money unless you're God.
Which, by the way, airtight philosophical argument. Good is good and bad is bad.
Yeah, airtight. Completely.
Real groundbreaking ethics here.
Next week looks like it's going to be kind of interesting. We got destruction by fire, and then we have a whole bunch of angels.
Oh.
Including Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we're getting into that again.
And next week we'll be finishing book 2?
Yes, we will be.
Yes.
Because I think that one's also, this one's also like 400.
Yeah, so be sure to join us next week. Hey, if you enjoyed the stream today, give us a like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, neighbors. Check us out on Patreon. You could be on the show. You could be in our Hangouts. You could be entered into a t-shirt giveaway.
Speaking of which, on Sunday, we will be giving away a t-shirt.
Yes, and if you don't want to engage in that, you can just click this pinned merchandise right here and get yourself a beautiful t-shirt.
Yeah, this one is the new Church of Piety t-shirt. It looks so cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
We also have an Amazon wish list full of books you can add to the table, add to our private collection, add to our archive.
Yeah, to the archive, which will, of course, they will be used as sources in videos. So you are helping yourself out.
Yes. Beyond that, if you made it to this point in the show, then leave a comment saying,
I got this.
What do you got?
So how about we just do that part of that quote that we read multiple times today? What was it in 653?
Yeah. So if you made it to this point in the show, leave a comment saying Star Sword.
Yeah, Star Sword is good. Star Sword is good.
Yep. And that's the show for the day. So,
and all links are in the description, and we will
see you on Sunday.
Also, I think I have a show with Arn